host of the Gridiron.
All right, welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you give this video a thumbs up and maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. I just cracked myself up. I'm pathetic, I know. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. If you want to help support my channel out, go to the top link in the description box. The very top link takes you to my membership page. I've got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me, and I thank you in advance. Thank you. And also, just a little ways down in the description box, there's a link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. We have over 9,400 members in the group. It's growing all the time. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, all that stuff said and done and done away with. Well, here we are again. But, right, this week coming up here. So, Saturday, Sunday's the 3rd, right? Let me check on my computer, right? So today's the 2nd, Saturday 2nd, the 3rd. So Wednesday, the 5th. A lot of people, you see a lot of stuff. It makes sense. I mean, it's a shame, and you hate, obviously, it goes both ways, if the Giants were to trade, chances, it's not like, well, should they trade 9 or 10 guys? That doesn't usually wind up happening, Usually a lot of trades don't wind up happening and stuff like that. If something happens, it happens, but it's not like, well, should the Giants trade this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy? That makes sense, if they wind up getting rid of like 1 or 2 guys, it would probably be a lot, But once again, you also have to, Shane's, you got to, the kind of message you're sending to, what's up, buddy? To the locker room, to the players and all that and everything. So you got to be careful with that, but also, it's, everybody knows it's a business. For the most part, it's nothing personal. It's a business, right? Everybody knows that. Of course, if, I hate when you get rid of draft picks. Guys that you've drafted, and actually guys that have actually been on the team for a few years and all. I kind of hate that. Whether you lose them in free agency or you trade them or whatever. Like, I just hate that. It's like a part of me just gets like if they trade away Slate and there goes my arm. It just feels like somebody you've been rooting for and all this stuff for all these years and everything. They just trade them away. I hate it. But the Giants got to sit down and say, we suck. Are we keeping these guys? There's they got a long list of guys that are free agents, restricted free agents, and all. But some of the guys who are unrestricted free agents, UFAs. Meaning they can basically, if the season's over, sign whoever they want to. Unrestricted free agent means that, like, they have, total control. The Giants are from the, just say, right? And this would make sense to Ojulari. Like, say, Ojulari goes, whatever, to the Lions. They say, Aziz will give you $10 million a year. The Giants say the same thing. Aziz will give you $10 million a year. Aziz can make a choice. Right? He can say, well, I can get $10 million here. I get $10 million there. Where do I want to go? For him, it would be like, where am I going to play the most? And, that would be the problem the Giants would have with him. We'll go over that when we talk about Aziz in a few minutes, right, down the road here. That'd be his choice. So there's, what do we got here? Let's go over the list here. All right, there's quite a few guys here. Let's see. Unrestricted free agents. Now, some of these guys are on the team. Some this came from when was this here? Currently enjoying summer break. Yes, so there's some of these guys aren't even on the team anymore and all that. The Giants. This is from the Sporting News, but once again, this is back in June. Okay, so some of these guys aren't even on the team, but a lot of them are, right? So unrestricted free agents after the season's over, there's a plethora of them. Now, as I mentioned, I said, these guys here, they're unrestricted, means they can go wherever they want. The Giants, right, could offer, just throwing it out there, Drew Lock. I'm just, once again, just throwing a number out there. They can offer Drew Lock $15 million a year. The Falcons could offer him $10 million a year. He might like the Falcons situation better and say, nah, I'm going to go there. I like that situation. I think that, the organization's better. I like the team. A couple guys I know are there. Yada, yada, yada. I might have a better chance of playing there. So he can go wherever he wants. So, but I said, let me read this list. So I said, this is from a few months ago. So a lot of these guys aren't even on. But I found this article here real fast. So this gives you an indication of how many guys. Some of these guys, I'm not going to read some of these guys. I'm not going to read some of these guys. This is ridiculous. There's so many. But I mean, some of these guys aren't even on the team, like Yadni Kajust and stuff. I mean, Darius Slayton, Jason Pinnock, Aziz Ojolari, Drew Lock, Isaiah Hodgins, Allen Robinson, Aaron Stinney, Jalen Mills, Trey Herndon, Jack Stahl, Jordan Phillips, Chris Manhertz, Jamie Gillen, the Hammer, Casey Kreider. We keep bringing him back every year, like on a one-year deal. So, Isaiah Simmons, Nick McLeod, Boogie Basham, right? Then they got David Longmouth, Boykin, Darnay Holm. So a lot of these guys, Matthew Adams, so a lot of these guys aren't even on the team anymore. Right, so you can see that there's a lot of guys, there's a lot of unrestricted free agents. Now, there are restricted free agents. I don't even know if any of these guys are even on a freaking team anymore. Do I have it up here? No, that's not it. Let me see. Yeah, don't look like I got it up here. I thought I did. Meaning the Giants. Yeah. I had their team, so the team, the depth chart and everything up here, but there's restricted free agents and then there's exclusive right free agents like Tommy DeVito, Toman Fox. I mean, this is from months ago, so a ton of these guys aren't even on the team anymore. But like Tommy DeVito and Toman Fox, now an exclusive right free agents. Let me read this over here. Here we go. All right, so the unrestricted free agents, which the Giants have a ton of, right? I mean, it's every team does. It is what it is, right? But so the unrestricted free agents, this is what people think about when they think of a classic free agent, the unrestricted free agent, the UFA. Is any player whose contract expires and is free to sign with whatever team he wants for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. I said, Drew Lock, Giants could offer him $15 million. Somebody else can offer him 10. He could go where it's up to him. He can say, well, I want to go here with the 10. My chances of playing are better. I like the coach. I got some. It's closer to my home than New York. Yada yada yada. So I got family who live here. Whatever. So he can sign with whoever he wants for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. Even the Giants offer him more money. Doesn't matter, right? Whether it's the pursuit of the biggest contract, the weather, or that sweet pizza shop near the stadium. I mean, it could be. I'm going to go to San Diego. The weather is fantastic. Or that sweet pizza shop. Oh, Tony's Pizza, right around the corner from the stadium there, down in New Orleans. Oh, love the pizza there. I'm going to move back down to New Orleans. I used to live down there. Love the pizza. Love the blah. I'm going to New Orleans. I mean, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The player can do whatever he wants, provided a team actually obviously wants to sign him. But I mean, if he's being, a couple of teams are going after him, he can pick and choose where he wants to go. It's all up to him. Here's where it gets tricky. Players can only become unrestricted free agents when they've spent 4 accrued seasons on an NFL roster, at least 6 games on the roster and not the practice squad. So they have to spend at least 6 games on an NFL roster during one season to have an accrued year. That doesn't mean 24 games in 4 years. You can't have 3, and 15. No, it has to be at least 6, and see, right? So he has to have, once again, to be an unrestricted free agent, you have to have 4 accrued seasons on an NFL roster, meaning you have to spend at least 6 games on the roster and not the practice squad. Now, I guess you could spend 3 games on the Giants and 3 games then on the Commanders during the one season. And that would be your 6 games. That's an accrued season. You get 4 of those, and you can be an unrestricted free agent. You can't be an unrestricted free agent if you only been in the league for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, like Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan, right? What happens if they don't? Well, there are 2 different classifications, okay? So there's the restricted free agents, meaning these players who have 3 accrued seasons, no more, no less, 3. They're becoming less common these days since many rookie contracts run for 4 years, which is true. Most players you see come up as restricted free agents are late round picks, undrafted free agents, and off the street players that have caught on with teams and are worth re-signing. A team has 2 options with restricted free agents. 1, come to terms with a normal long-term deal with the player, or 2, place a tender or qualifying offer on the player. You'll hear both. They mean the same thing. A tender is basically a predetermined 1-year contract that the team can offer a restricted free agent. This goes back. For the 2016 offseason, there are 3 options, dollar amounts for over the cap. Wow. Let's see. First round tender, 1 year, 3.582. Second round, 1 year for right of first refusal, original tender. Wow. But anyway, I don't know what they're talking about. They're going back to the 2016 offseason. I don't know. But so there's restricted free agents. So those are guys that have been for 3 years in the league. No more, no less. So you got the unrestricted who have been 4 years or more, and then you have the restricted who have been around for 3 years. Then you have, now this would be, where are we at here? Exclusive right free agents. All right, an exclusive right free agent. Here we go. This is here in the NFL. An exclusive right free agent is a player with an expired contract and fewer than 3 accrued seasons. So you have fewer than 3, you have 3, and then you have 4 or more. The player's original team offers a 1-year contract at the league minimum. The player must sign with that team or sit out the season. So basically, it's also, I get exclusive right free agents. We got Tolman Fox, because they got a bunch of guys who aren't even on the freaking team anymore. Yeah, so I'm not even going to go over these guys, but Toman Fox and Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan, right? Those guys are exclusive right free agents. So if the player's original team offers Toman Fox or Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan a 1-year contract at the league minimum, the player must sign with that team. If he doesn't want to, he has to sit out a season. So, so they do have an option, but you have to sit out a season. The player has no negotiating rights with the other teams. If the player's original team doesn't offer an unrestricted free agent tender, the player becomes an unrestricted free agent. And he can sign with whoever he wants for whatever reason he wants. So, a player accrues a season by being on the team's active, inactive list, injured reserve, or reserve pup for at least 6 regular season games in a given season. So, injured reserve, so you'll notice, accrues a season by being on the team's active, inactive list, injured reserve, the reserve pup. So, right. So, that's why, maybe with the Toman Fox, he hasn't accrued a lot because he's been on the practice squad a lot. Now, we're going to go over Toman Fox, I think, in a little bit. If I think with the injury report, I think it is. Right. But that's why, Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan, Toman Fox, all haven't accrued a lot because they've been maybe on the practice squad. They've been on the team, so to speak, but it's been the practice squad. So they haven't really accrued any time. Tommy did, like last year and all. But, he hasn't done anything this year. He's been on the practice squad. So he's not accruing any time. That's why sometimes you can be actually in the league for 4 years, but you might only have 1 accrued season. So it's kind of tricky. But the a lot of questions. The Giants, they have obviously some decisions to make, and it takes 2 to tango. It's just not we'll just trade this guy. Just pick the phone up and you run along, you trade that guy. It takes 2 to tango, right? If you just throwing somebody out there. That's all I'm doing. I said if you want to trade away Slayton, just say takes 2 to tango. You got to find a suitor, and if you think we got to get a 6th-round pick for him, and it might be 3 other teams. They're like, nah, best we're going to do is a 7th. And if you're like, nope, sorry, nope, we need a 6th. And they're all like, nope, give me a 7th. Well, the 2 ain't tangoing then, right? It takes 2 to tango. I said, it's obviously it's not that easy, right? But also it's Shane's got to sit down and whatever, with Brandon Brown and whatever and all of that. So he did, thankfully, I guess, for whatever, if it's good or bad, but he got a little vote of confidence booster there from Mr. Mara. I don't plan on making any changes, so Shane can sit back and whatever. And he's like, okay, thank God, I still got my job next year. I don't got to sell my house. Thank you, Jesus, right? But he can sit down, and it's like, all right, okay. Who's, and you want to talk to Dable too, obviously. What's going on with Slayton? You think, what's going on? Hyatt blow that bad? Is that dude ever going to make another catch in the NFL? If no, let me know, baby. Let me know, because, as much as we might want to get another wide receiver or we might have to go guns a-blazing to get that quarterback in the 1st round, right? So it's like, so we may not be able to really, because they have to trade up to get a quarterback. Can they stay put and one falls to them? They don't know right at this particular point in time. They still got, after this week's over, they still got 8 games left. So they don't know. The Giants, you win a game or 2, and all of a sudden you're going from picking 7th to 17th. You're going from having a quarterback falling into your lap to having to trade up. right? Or taking the whatever's left over, or maybe trying to get somebody in the second round. So you don't know. You got 8 games left after this week's. You have no idea what the heck's going to happen. But I mean, it's a lot. It's and you don't know either. Like with Aziz, right? It might be like, well, we got some money. We can throw some money Aziz's way. I mean, the dude's on fire, but the kind of production he's putting up with Kayvon, Aziz, I mean, it could be the money might be great, but Aziz might want to play. If he's like, wow, after the season's over with, Giants got Burns and they got Kayvon, and I'm number 3. I'm only gonna play 20, 25 snaps unless somebody gets hurt. I want to go someplace where I can start. I want the money, sure, but I want to play too. I mean, I'll be entering my 5th season. I only got so many more good years left in me. I've had a bunch of banged up years. I've got injuries, this, that. I don't know how many more good years I got left in me. And I want to get one good payday. Yes, I do. But I also want to play. I don't want to go, with the Giants. I love them, love the organization, all that stuff and everything. But playing 20 snaps a game, man, I want 50 to 60. I want to be a starter. So you can throw as much as you want at Aziz, may not do you any good. Same thing with Slate. You gotta have they gotta have a powwow, sit down and all that and everything.